Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, Parshas Shabbos Shira, Parshas Beshalach, the great song at the sea, that we sang after we miraculously crossed over the sea and we witnessed incredible miracles from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we sang Oz Yashir Moshe. That word Oz, then Moshe will sing, is not the only time that word Oz appears in these parshas. That if you look back, when Moshe Rabbeinu was sent to Mitzrayim to get the Egyptians to let the Jewish people go, Moshe Rabbeinu turns to God at one point and he complains to him. He says, Me'oz, same word, Me'oz, Basi al Paro, when it came to Paro, L'daber b'shemecha, to speak in your name, Me'hero la'amazeh, it all turned south, and it all turned sour for the Jewish people. V'atzalo yitzalta samechan, I wasn't able to help them at all. It's no coincidence that Moshe Rabbeinu complained to God with the word Oz, and he sang this incredible song with the word Oz. And what we have to understand is that what's the connection between the Oz and the Oz? We know that there are certain places that we can't make hosafos, we can't make extra aliyahs, we can't break things in the Torah, that we have to read them together. There's one in this parsha that after the Song of the Sea, you would imagine that there would be a break there. It's a standalone thing. Miriam then sings, and right there should be a break. But you can't make a break there. The Aliyah continues. Vayasa Moshe saw me Yamsuf. Moshe takes them from Yamsuf, and they come to Midbar Shur, and they walk for 3 days, and they couldn't find any water, and they found only this bitter water. They complained to Moshe, Manishta, what are we going to drink? He cries out to Hashem, and God, Vayoreyu, God shows him an eitz, a tree, Vayashech hamayim, and he throws it into the water, Vayimtiku hamayim, and the water becomes sweet. Why is it so important that story, that continuation of the story of Kriyas Yamsuf and of the song at the sea, why is that necessary to be attached? So it stands as standalone. It's a standalone event. It's a separate event that happened 3 days later. What's so important that we have to keep this connected to the Oz Yashir? So I think we have to look at Hashem's response to Moshe Rabbeinu. When Moshe Rabbeinu turned to God and he said to him, Oz Basi el Paro, when I came to Paro, and everything went so bad. So we understand, God turns to him and says to him, Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Ato Sira, now you'll see, Asher Esel Paro, what I'm going to do to Paro, Ki biyad chazaki yishalchim, with a strong hand he's going to send you out. Ubiyad chazaki yigarshim ya'atzo, and with a strong hand he's going to send you out of his land. And Rashi says, what does it mean, Ata Sira, now you're going to see? Hirharta al midosai, that you second guessed me. Not like Avram Avinu, that I told him that Yitzchak was going to be the one who was going to carry on his legacy, and then I told him to take Yitzchak up and to shecht him and to slaughter him. But Avram Avinu wasn't here, that he didn't second guess me at all. But since you second guessed me, since you did something wrong with these words, Oz Basi, so then you're going to see that which is done to Paro, but you're not going to see the end of the story. You're not going to see what's going to happen to the 7 nations when I bring the Jews into the land of Israel. Why would Moshe Rabbeinu be told, just because he said Me'oz Basi, that you know what, you're not going to see the end of this story? You'll see now what I'm going to do to Paro, but you're not going to see the end of the story. Why was that the fitting response to Moshe Rabbeinu? I think we have to understand what the actual crime of Me'oz Basi. What Moshe Rabbeinu was doing was he was looking at that now, at what was going on right now. He was looking at the pain of what they were experiencing. But he didn't recognize that pain was going to give rise to something. That pain was just steps in the way. That you have to have emunah, you have to have bitachon, you have to have faith and trust in God. That even though right now it's dark, and even though right now it's difficult, but that difficulty is going to give way to light. That difficulty is going to give way to joy. And that eventually, if you just hold on, it's going to turn into something magnificent. And that was what God was saying to Moshe Rabbeinu was his crime. His crime of Me'oz Basi, his mistake in Me'oz Basi, was that he gave in too soon. He drew a conclusion too soon. And Moshe Rabbeinu realized that. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to fix that. And the place to fix it publicly was to stand in front of Bnei Yisrael and to say, Oz Yosher. Was to say, if I only would have waited. I made a mistake with the word Oz, and now I'm going to fix it with the word Oz, and I'm going to recognize that if you just wait it out, it's going to turn into something magnificent. And what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted was that he should be able to concretize this. That he should give them a mashal, give them an example, give them a life experience where they can recognize that if you just hang on, everything is going to turn out okay. And that was the Meimara. He didn't tell Moshe Rabbeinu to throw sugar into it, because all that would do is mask the bitter taste. But he said to him, throw in this bitter piece of wood. Persevere. Sometimes you have to handle even a little bit more bitterness and a little bit more difficulty. And then what happened to the water? Vayimtku amayim. The water became sweet. The water became delicious. Because that's what happens. If you just hang on and you hold on, you'll recognize that there's a tachlis and a toelis and a purpose. And then ultimately it's all going to come right. Oz Yosher. The Oz of the darkness is going to turn into the Oz of the Yosher. Is going to turn into a song. And that's why there can be no break between these pashas. Because we need to connect them. We need to connect the theoretical idea of Oz and give it a concrete story, a concrete example. That if you just hang on, it's all going to be okay. Just wait it out. Keep moving forward. Persevere. And in the end, Oz Yosher. You'll recognize and be able to see the hand of God. That's one of the incredible messages of this song. It's not just the song of thanks to Hashem, but it's the realization that our life is a song, even in the times when it is difficult and even when the times when it is painful. Ultimately, our life turns into a song. Ultimately, the Oz Basi turns into the Oz Yosher. All we have to do is just hang on. And sometimes hanging on is a real challenge. Sometimes hanging on is not so pashut. But if we hang on, the song will ring and the sweetness will be ours. Everyone should have a beautiful, uplifting, amazing Shabbos. And this Shabbos, as well as our lives, should be filled with that amazing song, Oz Yosher.